And this is YouTube blank.
Stand by. Rolling the camera. Straight to the camera.
Good morning, everyone. I sincerely apologize for starting late. It was due to technical issues beyond our control. Once again, we apologize. But thank you for coming on board really early. And we're going straight into the national anthem. So please let's stand up as we take the national anthem.
My dear compatriot corps members, it is my pleasure to address you all today on this occasion of the virtual live pitch ceremony for the Farmers for the Future Cohort 3 final competition, sponsored by the British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation. Let me begin by expressing our profound appreciation to the management of the British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation for initiating this laudable program through which our core members are empowered with startup capital to establish their chosen businesses. This gesture goes a long way in assisting the scheme to achieve one of its major objectives, which is to build the spirit of self-reliance in the Nigerian youth and encourage them to contribute their quota to the economic development of the country. I also appreciate the foundation for sustaining the capacity of the program and upscaling it to accommodate more beneficiaries. It is heartwarming to know that within the short period of its implementation, the program has made enormous impact as the earlier winners have successfully established their agro-businesses and are contributing towards ensuring.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for joining us at the live pitch for the Farmers for Future, brought to you by British American Tobacco Foundation and Fate Foundation. I'd like to say a big welcome to you on behalf of Fate Foundation. Fate Foundation, your not-for-profit organization supporting businesses to start, to grow, and to scale. And we're excited to be partnering with the BAT Foundation to bring this pitch competition and the entire Farmers for Future program to you. We bring you greetings from the management and the foundation. Particularly, we want to the entrepreneurs today good success as you pitch. In the next couple of months after now, or weeks after now, we will definitely be going into a lot of sessions with us where we want to be able to help you and support you to scale your projects, to scale your businesses, so that at the end of the day, we are confident that you are doing well for yourself, you are able to generate jobs, you are able to improve your revenue and your profit, and at the end of the day, Nigeria is good for it. So on behalf of Fate Foundation, we'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone for joining. We say a very big thank you to our judges. Thank you for taking out the time to be with us in this session today, and we hope that it will be worth your time. So to our entrepreneurs who are pitching today, I wish you all the best. We ask that you will give it all that it takes. It is worth it, definitely. And we look forward to, hearing what you have based on the sessions that you've had before now, and of course, to helping you and hand-holding you in the sessions that will come on even after the pitch. So thank you very much and have a good morning, everyone.
There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 million dreams. Any one of these is able to begin a spark and change the world. There's innovation everywhere, from Aba to Ife to Kaduna. The land is green, the wealth is here. Yeah, this is our nation, this is our land. Yeah. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the world is here.
If you take a look around, from the north to south, there are opportunities to make it here. But if all you ever dream is to go overseas, tell me how you'll ever know that wealth is here. Oh, yeah, oh.
This is our nation, this is our land. Oh. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. Oh yeah. So this is our nation, this is our land. Oh. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here.
My name is Olarewaju. I'm one of the participants in the recently concluded British American Tobacco Bootcamp. I particularly enjoyed the hands-on learning approach that was adopted. Also, I strongly believe that by integrating the lessons from this bootcamp into our parent stockbroker firm, we are going to experience an exponential growth in our business.
My name is Peter Theophilus Ona. I'm one of the participants of the Farmers for the Future program cohort 3. one important thing that that bootcamp has remodeled my thought toward business. I have been really touched in terms of knowledge on how to grow and scale a business. I really appreciate that. It's not something I would like to take personally for granted.
Prior to the bootcamp, I was inexperienced on some important subject matters that relates to the entrepreneurial journey. However, during the training, I had a career-changing experience that has equipped me with the right mindset as an entrepreneur. Thank you, British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation and Fitch Foundation.
I want to appreciate them for all the effort they have put together, all the volunteers who have been lecturing us. I want to really say thank you.
I'd like to say a big thank you to the sponsor of this program, British American Tobacco and the Fitch Foundation. Thank you.
Everyone, I hope you enjoyed the played from about F4F to the pitch highlights, where the 6 finalists were able to share some of their experience during the boot camp. We have the 3 weeks boot camp. 20 entrepreneurs actually entered the boot camp, and after the first stage of the pitch level, these 6 are the ones who have now moved on to this final stage, and today they'll be pitching their businesses to the judges. All right, so I'll be introducing our 3 judges now. So on the call, we have with us African farmer Mogaji. Please, can you give him a round of applause? Welcome, sir. Thank you very much for taking out time to be with us today. Also on the call, we have Professor Chidi Ibe. Welcome, sir. We say a big thank you to you for taking out time to be with us today. And last but not the least, we have with us Mosumola Umoru, who is also one of the judges for today's business pitch competition. Welcome, ma'am. It's good to have you here with us today. All right, so next I'll be introducing our top 6 finalists. Let me see some excitement in the chat box. Victoria, Peter, Paul, Chooks, Chidima, are you ready? In fact, are you excited to be here today? Let me see your yes in the comment box. All right. Okay, so we have 6 entrepreneurs, as I said earlier, who have moved to the final stage of the pitch competition, and they will be pitching their businesses before the judges today. All right, so we have Olarewaju Arilomo. We have Ugoji Paul. We have Victoria Emmanuel, we have Chidima Eze, and we have Peter Theophilus. Also, Ogbona Chooks. These are the 6 entrepreneurs who will be pitching their businesses today before the judges. All right, so we wish you the very best, all 6 of you. We'll be going into the business pitch competition right now. So our judges are ready, and so are the entrepreneurs who will be pitching their businesses to the judges, as I said earlier on. And we already have the order to which they will be pitching. So entrepreneurs, please take notes, know when you are coming up. The pitch order has been shared with you, so you can just take a look at it again so that you know when you'll be coming up. And remember, you have 10 minutes for this stage, 2 minutes for us to put up your pitch video, which the entrepreneurs had pre-recorded and shared with us. So we'll share that for 2 minutes. Afterwards, the entrepreneurs will have time to interact with the judges. The judges will ask questions, all 3 judges, and when they are done, the entrepreneurs will respond to all of the questions together. So once again, 10 minutes, 2 minutes to pitch your business using the pitch video that has been pre-recorded. And once you are done, you have time to respond to the questions which the judges will be asking you. So please listen attentively, pay attention, and we wish you the very best in this next stage of the business pitch. Thank you. All right, so entrepreneurs, are you ready? Let me see your yes in the chat box if you're ready. Victoria, let me know if you're ready. Peter, Paul, Chidima. All right, so Olarewaju, you'll be coming up first. Please note this. And once Olarewaju is done, Paul, you'll be coming up afterwards. Then Victoria Emmanuel, you'll be the third to pitch your business. After which Chidima will be coming up. Then Peter, afterwards, Chuk will pitch last. All right. So let's have Olarewaju's pitch video up.
Hello, sirs and ma'am. Ireland Farm is a parent stock. Ireland Farm is a parent stock poultry farm. We are into this business because of the huge local demand supply gap as seen in the graph below. Our value proposition is the reproduction of broiler day-old chicks. Now, our attractions from Q3 2020 to Q4 2021 highlight our major milestones. Now, in the course of doing business, some of the key lessons we've learned is that we must always ensure our birds and farm, and likewise, we must vaccinate our birds against avian influenza. Our 10-year plan includes capacity scaling, vertical integration, and horizontal integration. Our route to market is simply hatchery to off-takers, while our revenue model is a B2B model. Currently, we are looking to raise 30 million naira. These funds will be deployed towards bird purchase, 1,000 birds, and our operating expenses. Now, of course, this will be a mix of grants, debt, and equity. And on this slide also includes our existing investors and fundraise till date. Our revenue projection, our conservative projection is that in this year, we will generate 4.8 million naira, which is 2022, while in 2023, we are going to generate 16.3 million naira. Now, this growth will be driven through capacity scaling, forward integration, and backward integration. Here, our management and technical team. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you for that, Olarewaju. So now the judges will have the opportunity to ask you questions. But before then, we also have our audience on YouTube who are joining us and watching as well. So I welcome you all, those on YouTube. Some hashtags will be dropped in the chat box. Please click on it and use them to post on social media. Let people know that something amazing is here. Share it with your fellow entrepreneurs, okay, where they can also come on board and learn from this business pitch. All right, so I'll be calling on African Farmer. Sir, you go first to ask Olarewaju question. Olarewaju, are you ready? Please unmute your mic to respond.
Yes, I am. Thank you, Olayemi. Basically, I just want to ask Olarewaju, one, what are you trying to achieve? You're not so clear in terms of, I can see it's a breeder project. You mentioned broiler. It's not clear what you're trying to achieve. It would be good for us to know about your management. You just showed the picture. You should have mentioned one or two key roles. So I would like you to mention one or two of your key team members. And who are you selling to? What are you selling? Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, African farmer. Osumola, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, African Farmer, my dear colleague, for that first question, because I was blown away. So I'm also very curious, how long have you run this business? Because I didn't see a trajectory. So is this a startup? Who are you sourcing from? Yes, you want to raise 13 million. If I understand the poultry market a little bit, I want to get clarity on where you are today. And I mean, I don't have that as well. So it would be nice to know where your African Farmers already asked about your management team. That's basically to understand the competence of the team that is trying to run this vision. Yes, I do hear that it's a parent stock farm, but take me on a journey to understand why I should be investing in you, or why BATN should be investing in you right now. It's like a big dream, and I just want a bit more insight. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. Professor Ibe, over to you, sir. Hello, Professor Ibe.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, sir. We can hear you clearly. Good morning, sir.
Morning. I'm still struggling to have very clear indications from right now. I can see my video is turned on. I have had to struggle a little bit to join this meeting for some very strange reasons. Regarding this particular presentation, like the two previous speakers, I don't have clarity on a lot of issues that define entrepreneurship. So if this guy is live, I would like him to take two. That means rewind and summarize the highlights that if I was an investor would convince me of the necessity to pitch my tent with him. So I don't have clarity in terms of the presentation. I saw slides going, and that seemed to be it. Hello?
Hello. Good morning. Can I proceed, Madam Olai?
Can I also inject at this point? Olai?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Olai, please hold on. Can you hear me, Ms. Umoru?
Okay, so because I was the second speaker and I had to respond quickly, let me first start by saying everyone who pitched, I have read. Yes, I can hear.
Hello, Ms. Moore, we lost you for some beats. I think your network.
I guess you should go ahead and respond, Olaiwaju. Go ahead and respond.
All right, so Olaiwaju, please go ahead and respond. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, panel of judges. So I'll start from Mr. Mogaji's questions. I said, what are we trying to achieve? So parent stock is the niche we're playing in, the value chain. And,
yes, Olaiwaju, go ahead and respond. I'll pass it.
Yes, okay. We got that. We got that, ma'am. Thank you. Olaiwaju, please go ahead.
All right, so the particular breeds are breeder broilers, and what they do is it's like saying a mother to a child, right? So breeder broilers are they reproduce chickens. They lay eggs that are then hatched in hatcheries to breed broilers. Rather, broilers are the meat birds that people buy for consumptions. That's the niche we're playing in parent stocks. In terms of our management team, our technical partner, who we partner with for breeding the birds from pre to post-production, has over 33 years experience in the field. Our farm attendants, likewise, has over 15 years experience in the field. Our board chairman, aside from being a finance expert, which he contributes that as part of his equity contribution into the business. Likewise, he has agricultural businesses that he runs, and is able to onboard his team to also facilitate the business operations. That also includes me as well. I have some experience, hands-on experience in agricultural products, and as well marketing and sales experience. Then he said, who are we selling to? Our market is a B2B business structure. As it is, we have we've onboarded two off-takers who, upon hatching our eggs and hatching them, now they're formed into broilers. We don't take them out of the hatchery, they off-take them from the hatchery directly from us. So we don't even get to see the birds before we receive the fund in our account. So we have that partnership with them, and most we've engaged more off-takers as we increase the capacity, and who are even willing to sign memorandums of understanding with us, given, if we're able to do substantial volume for them to off-take with us. What are we selling? We are selling broilers, right? That's what we are selling, broiler chickens. So now I'll move next to Madam Mosumola. How long have we been in this business? We started in 2019. Apologies. We started in 2019 actually, September 2019. Where are we today, right? So in 2019 we started with 300 parent stock breeder broilers. Currently we have 230 parent stock breeder broilers, and our aim is to scale to 1,000 parent stock breeder broilers by the end of the year, before the end of the year, rather. Where are we going to, right? And that also includes where we're going to, which is a mix of capacity scaling, that is scaling in numbers, backward integration. Currently, 60% of our cost goes into feeding. So part of our strategy is to build our own feed mill for the purpose of producing for ourselves, and in the long run, commercializing that even for third-party usages. Of course, in terms of our revenue to date, we generated 3.5 million naira in revenue. In terms of cash at hand, we have about parent stock birds that we built. We have 1 acre of land that we've purchased. We have, and as well, our technical partner ecosystem put us in a position where we're able to leverage on his own pen, even for the purposes of rearing the 1,000 breeder broilers we have in mind for the year 2022. Aside from that, I think that kind of answers the question. And then to Professor Chidi Ibe, sir, you said summarize the highlight of the presentation. So really, like I said, we are into parent stock, and parent stock is because the problem we are trying to solve is to provide meat birds into the market. There's a huge demand for chicken meat, and for us to do that, we have to go higher up in the value chain, as why we are positioned to produce that product for the market. In terms of lessons learned, up to date. Yes, we had an incident last year, which was avian influenza, bird flu. It's a crisis that went across Nigeria, and even currently it's affecting them greatly in the United States. And part of the lessons learned for us was that avian influenza vaccine, though it's scarce, but yet we've been able to secure a deal with one of the suppliers, even for the purposes of providing that vaccine to our birds. So that affected us last year, because when the event just struck, I mean, this was post-production, it wiped out our farm. Afterwards, we had to onboard new set of birds, and yes, we were able to get the deal for the vaccine, and of course, work with an insurance company for the purpose of insuring the farm. Aside from these, in terms of financing to date, we've raised a total of 6 million naira, 4 million in equity, and 2 million in debt investments. Currently, we have a 3 million naira debt line. If we are able to raise other source of funds, right, to match that. And I believe that's part of the core reasons why we are here today, in order to raise that fund to access the debt line. This debt line is from one of our current investors, Stockton Capital. They're willing to invest more if we are able to raise more money for the purpose of expanding or scaling the business. Which really brings us to what we are going to use the money for. Primarily, this is for capacity scaling. We have the infrastructure in place, we have the team in place in order to facilitate this, but we need the funding for the purpose of scaling up. Yeah, I believe I've answered all the questions.
Well, I strongly believe the judges have been able to get a brief overview of what you do and all of the questions they've asked you. So our judges, are you satisfied with his response? African farmer, Professor Ide Mosomola.
Yeah, I would just like to ask him basically two questions. Olarewaju, what happens to you if you don't get out of the avian flu challenge and you are hit again this year? You've mentioned insurance. I would like to know, how much is insurance per bird, and how much is insurance against bird flu? That will help me take my decisions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, African farmer. So Olaiwaju, in 30 seconds, quickly respond to this question.
So what if we don't, what happens if we don't get out? Oh yeah. So I mean, currently what we've done is the current birds we've secured vaccines against avian influenza. So we've injected them twice, which will help us mitigate or even prevent outrightly the effect of this going forward. And in terms of insurance, currently on the 230 birds, we are paying 140,000 naira on the insurance, and an additional 100,000 naira for avian influenza. So a total of roughly 230,000 naira for insurance.
Judges, please call him appropriately while the next person gets ready. Paul, you're coming up next, so please get ready. So our judges, please use the scoring sheets. There's also a comment section there. Please feel free to input comments and feedback for the entrepreneurs. Thank you. Paul, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Please unmute to respond if you can hear me, Paul.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So you're coming up next. Get ready. Please, let's have a speech video.
My name is Paul Ugoja. I'm the founder and lead farmer at Net River Fish Farm. Net River Fish Farm is a commercial fish farm located in Port Harcourt. We are currently into the production, processing, and sale of African catfish. We've identified three major challenges that exist in catfish production and distribution in Nigeria. They include limited access, market resistance, and unhealthy food. The cost of catfish in Nigeria is relatively high due to the low level of production in the country. Also, most consumers of catfish consider fresh catfish to be slimy and unattractive. And when the middlemen try to process these catfish, they do it using firewood and smoke, which introduces a high level of hydrocarbon into the fish, making it unhealthy for consumption. We plan to tackle these challenges by upscaling our level of production to cover up for the deficit of catfish produced in the country. We would also process fresh catfish using mechanical drying, zero smoke, and packaging to reach a broader market segment. We're also developing a full stack management system with an integrated e-commerce platform to market and sell our products. Our solution cuts across multiple SDG goals. The integration of technology in our farm gives us an edge as we're able to manage inventories. My name is Paul Ugoji. I'm the founder and lead farmer at Net River Fish Farm. Net River Fish Farm is a commercial fish farm located in Port Harcourt and sale of three major challenges that exist in catfish production and distribution in Nigeria. They include limited access, market resistance, and unhealthy food. The cost of catfish in Nigeria is relatively high due to the low level of production in the country. Also, most consumers of catfish consider fresh catfish to be slimy and unattractive. And when the middlemen try to process these catfish, they do it using firewood and smoke, which introduces a high level of hydrocarbon into the fish, making it unhealthy for consumption. We plan to tackle these challenges by upscaling our level of production to cover up for the deficit of catfish produced in the country. We would also process fresh catfish using mechanical drying, zero smoke, and packaging to reach a broader market segment. We're also developing a full stack management system with an integrated e-commerce platform to market and sell our products. Our solution cuts across multiple SDG goals. The integration of technology in our farm gives us an edge as we're able to manage inventories, receive online orders, and render support to our many customers. We've identified and segmented our target market into three major groups: local consumers, local vendors, and exportation markets. We plan to make revenue from sales of our products, both fresh and dry, in our outlets, online, and from tariff from logistics. We've identified our competitors and analyzed them in three major areas: production, processing, and technology. We would scale up and match up consistently when necessary. Since we started in 2019, we've recorded substantial growth as we've been able to gain 81% return on sales, 76% return on sales, and 93% return on sales respectively. We require the sum of 4,960,000 naira to enable us execute our plans and projects in capital and running expenses. This is our competent and amazing team running Net River Farms. Thank you very much for your time. I anticipate your thoughtful questions.
Also, everyone, that was Paul. Our judges, I'll be handing over to you now. So Professor Ibe, kindly go first.
Thank you very much. Paul, fish feeds, the cost of fish feeds are out of any reasonable reckoning. How are you coping with that issue? Hello, Paul, did you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you. I can hear you, sir.
Yes, I'm asking you about fish feeds. How are you coping with the issue? Are you able to formulate your own feeds, or do you depend on commercial sources?
Okay, I thought I'm going to take all the questions together, sir.
Yeah, I'm done with mine. My focus is on the feed, because in aquaculture, okay, that's a critical element.
All right, thank you so much for that question, Professor Ibe. Paul, please note the question. African farmer, you're going next, sir.
Okay, Paul, I would want to ask you, who buys your catfish mostly? Who is the buyer? Who is the consumer? It's very crucial that you make that clear to me. Who is the buyer? Who is the consumer? And you did mention people have limited access to catfish. And I assume that's the most popular fish breed that anybody can step in. Then you made mention of inventory. The money will help you with your technology inventory. How does that add to customers? How do customers benefit from your inventory? I think I'll just stay with that.
All right, thank you very much for that. Mosumola, Over to you.
Thank you, Paul. Again, I want to say all of you, well done for putting all your thoughts together. However, Prof has asked you, how are you coping with feed? I do not have direct numbers on your production volume as it stands. It will be interesting to know how you plan on scaling to get up to 6 tons, but I don't have insight on what volume you're currently producing. I do see that you're generating certain amount of revenue, and you want to scale up. What you're saying here, your projection is that you'll be doubling your revenue if you're able to raise 4 million naira. I really want to understand how that is going to happen, because I know cost of production today is at an astronomical state, and I also know that there's a lot of catfish in the market. So how do you intend to transition this period? So give us some more insights on how you're sourcing your feed, how your what volumes you're doing, and yes, how you're going to manage that transitional phase. Thank you.
The timer is up. You have just 6 minutes, 30 seconds to respond to all of the questions. So over to you now.
All right, thank you very much, the judges. I appreciate your honest feedback. I will start with Mr. Mogaji's question: how do we source our feed? Yes, the cost of feed is a major challenge and a major factor in the production of catfish in Nigeria, because most of the feed we have are imported, and the economic rate of the country is affecting the importation of this feed. So what we've done in the past 2 years, we've partnered with local fish producers, the people who combine these fish formulas together, and we've been able to make up with locally made feed to compensate for the cost of our foreign feed. So while we take the foreign feed for the first 2 months, which boosts the level of growth of the fishes, we now introduce the locally made feed to match up for the rest of the production, substituting them sequentially. So we still plan to go into the formulation of our own feed. I've undergone a 1-year training in modern agriculture, so I've learned how to formulate locally made feed. And in the next 1 year, we will also be introducing that into our fish farm to subsidize the cost of feed. And on the second question, I'll go to Ms. Bibola's question. Currently, we have 3 concrete ponds, each having a capacity to hold 1,000 fingerlings from start to finish. What we do is we increase the level of the water as the fishes increase in size. It's a very, I think 30 by 30 meters fish pond. And we want to upscale, and one of the innovations we'll be adding is we want to produce catfish to cover up for throughout the yearly production. So we'll be staggering our production. We need the 5 plastic tanks to help us. So once we introduce our new stock at the inception, after a month, we introduce a fraction of fishes for the next month. So once we cover up for the first quarter of our production, the next month we have another set of fish ready for our customers. So this will require extra ponds to be able to sort the sizes of fishes to continue this production. And we would also be upscaling because the catfish is very much in the market, we know. And the thing is, the limited access is due to the constraints it takes people to get to these fishes. Some people will need to go to the market to get to the fishes, and they might just turn down that desire. So what we want to do is we are introducing technology to help us put our farm and our brand in front of our customers. So they're able to, we would also be leveraging on digital marketing to sell and promote our brand and products. So they are able to place order from social media, which will be directed to the integrated e-commerce platform. Then place order, and we, with our partnerships with different logistics companies, will be able to deliver these products to their doorstep or desired location. So for the scale up finally, we want to be able to register the brand such that it becomes a household name. So we do not want to follow the conventional method. We are throughout our level of production, we are taking very careful measures to ensure that our products are healthy and quality to reach even the international market. We've also come up with a very unique branding style that we sell outside of Nigeria. I believe I've been able to answer these questions. Thank you very much.
Our judges, are you satisfied with his response? Professor Ibe, African farmer Mosomola.
Yes, I'm good with his explanation of how he has introduced local feeds into his feeding regime. So that's satisfactory.
All right, thank you, sir. African farmer, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, you've not answered the question. Who is the buyer? Who is the biggest buyer of catfish, and who consumes catfish the most? Thank you. Or what industry consumes the catfish the most?
Paul, did you hear him? Paul, kindly respond if you heard African farmer's question. Hello, Paul, are you there? All right, so I think Paul's network is having some challenges, so we'll move on from Paul. Our judges, please call him. Okay, you can also leave your comment in the scoring sheet so we can share it with Paul later on. Thank you very much. While our judges call Paul, Victoria, get ready, you're coming up next. All right, so we'll be going on to Victoria now. Your pitch deck is coming up. So you have 2 minutes for your video to play, after which 8 minutes will be given to you to listen to the questions and respond to all of the questions the judges have to you.
I grew up in the Confluence City where the abundance of fish was the norm. Sadly, in recent time, I have seen fish scarcity in its ugliest. It is the passion to provide solution to this scarcity that bettered Sovika's enterprise. Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria Emmanuel, the CEO of Sovika's Enterprise. We specialize in fish production, processing, marketing, and distribution. The current fish demand in Nigeria is at 3.6 million metric tons. Sadly, only 1.1 million tons is being produced, leaving a deficit of over 50% to be imported, resulting to a high percentage of our population being undernourished, and Nigeria has been kept below the bar in food security. That is why, as Sovika's Enterprise, we employ sustainable aquaculture principles to increase yield through the production of quality seed and reduce post-harvest loss using smart technology, thereby beating the demand gap. Thus far, our business is registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria and SMIDAN. Interestingly, we are now members, Faith Foundation, and the British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation. The quality of our product, accessibility, and the promotion of these sustainable development goals makes us stand out. Our target customers are pregnant and lactating women within the ages of 15 to 68, middle income earners resident in Lokoja, Abuja, and Kaduna State. Well, amidst competitors, our processing methods stand out because it guarantees neat and healthy fish products are offered to customers. We are a formidable team of 7, 4 in the management team, and 3 production assistants. Together, we strive to make Sovikia's enterprise a need that is known for promoting food security through quality fish production. With a budget of 3 million naira, we'll be able to scale up our production by 50%. We cater for the capital investment, operational, and regulatory costs. Here is a clear representation of our 6-month financial record and financial projection. This is a sample of our product. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that speech video. Professor Ibe, over to you so you can answer our questions now.
I wasn't really very clear on the type of fish that you're producing, but with whatever the case, I would like to know how you source your fingerlings. Do you have the capacity for hatchlings in your farm, or do you have to depend on outside suppliers for your fingerlings? The other question I have is the same as I asked the previous presenter as to how you deal with the issue of astronaut. I'm done, ma'am, moderator.
All right, thank you for that. Can everyone hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right, so
well,
Ms. Mola, over to you.
Yeah, the last question.
So his last question was going to be my first question. How do you source feeds? Do you hear that now? How do you source feeds? Because it's a major input, and how do you source your fingerlings? Do you have a hatchery in-house? I like to understand your team better. I did see a picture of everyone. What's going to change? My other question then would be, what's going to change if we understand how you source your feeds and how you get your whether you have your brood stock, you hatch yourself, or you buy fingerlings from the open market. I'm curious to know, you spoke about SDGs and your processing method, making your products unique. I did see your packaging bags. I'm curious, how do you store them? Are they regular seals? Are they vacuum seals? And what processing method do you adopt? Why should the consumers buy your product today over what is currently up in the market? When you answer the questions around feed sourcing, it would explain to me what volume. It would give a bit more insight into understanding where you are and what you're doing. I want to know why your processing method is different. What are you doing differently? And if you have actually taken your fishes to the lab, what is the current carbon content from your last results, your last lab check on your product? I want to know. And then I want to know the moisture content of your fish, of your product. Thank you. That would be all, Olayemi, from my end.
All right, thank you for that, Mosumola. African Farmer, over to you, sir.
Okay, Victoria, I would want to ask you that why target pregnant and lactating mothers? I believe fish give protein. Why target them? That's one. And two is, what category are you targeting? Rural women? Are you targeting urban women? Basically, why that target market? And let us, and you did mention Abuja, some places in the north. Why those locations, and how do you get your produce to them? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. So Victoria, respond to all of the questions.
Thank you so much, panel of judges. I will start with the question Professor Chidi asked about how I source fingerling. I carry out hashing. I'm going to combine it with feed, sourcing for feed and fingerlings. I carry out hashing myself so that we'll be able to monitor the quality of the fingerlings, because food safety is part of our goal as a team. So for the feed, what we do is we use commercial feed for the first 2 months, then proceeding we'll use locally produced feed. We run 3 of this cycle of production. While we are doing hashing, we disburse at a particular stage, we sell out some so that we can use the money to feed the ones we are ready to keep as our either broodstock and table size and for processing. So that's how we try to manage it, the feed and the fingerlings. Okay, proceeding to the question Mrs. Musmola asked about, I guess I've answered for feed and fingerlings. Okay, for the broodstock, we don't have the capacity of raising broodstock now. So what we do, we buy broodstock and we acclimatize them for a particular period of time before we use them, so that we'll be sure that they are viable and sexually matured for reproduction. Then concerning the sustainable development goals, fish is considered one of the food items that promote food and nutritional security worldwide. And our processing method is in line with and the environmental integrity, that we look out for the climate action of climate impact of our production capacity, because some of our competitors, especially the local artisanal farmers, they use local processing methods, and the energy that is being released into the atmosphere is excessive, and smoke, the exposure to carbon is on a high side. So what we do, our processing method is an enclosed system that allows efficient energy use and prevents smoke getting out to pollute the environment. Then no hunger. We believe that food and fish is a critical aspect of a nutritional diet. And aside the accessibility of food product, the quality is also essential. So that's why we are promoting fish for food security. Talking about our value of production for our processing, because that's where we get a high percentage of our revenues. We are currently
Victoria. Hello, Victoria, can you hear me?
I can hear you, ma'am.
All right, so your time is up. Sorry, I had to cut in. If you have more responses to the job for the judges, please drop it in the chat box. The judges will also leave their comments for you in the scoring sheets, and it will be shared with you. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So our judges, kindly score Victoria appropriately. Chidima, you're coming up next, so get ready. Thank you. All right, so while our judges score Victoria, Chidima, please drop in the chat box if you are ready, while we get ready to bring up your video. All right, so please let's put up Chidima's video.
Hello, food champions. I am Eze Chidima Mary, a soil and soilless vegetable farmer, trainer, and consultant. In 2020, I acquired some acres of land for vegetable production, And while all other factors of production was available, assessing farm labor became a great ordeal. As one, using community labor was extremely expensive for productivity. Two, assessing farm labor agents was difficult to come by. After several interactions with other farmers, I was able to get farm labor from a neighboring country in Cotonou. And on one fateful morning in the middle of production, they were nowhere to be found as they left the farm deserted. Discussed this with other farmers to get labor and avoid loss. I discovered that several farmers have a story to tell about their ordeal with farm workers. I carried out a survey to understand this better and discovered that 8 in every 10 farmers has a bitter experience with farm workers, ranging from the difficulty in assessing farm workers to the high cost of farm workers to the lack of skill of farm workers being duped by features farm agent and farm desertion. This brought me to start FarmCast as a technology-enabled agricultural research human service firm that screens, train, and connects agricultural workers to recruiters. We do this to our website and USD code for human capacity by connecting skilled agricultural workers to recruiters for farm consultancy, training, and staff management, and connect farmers to screened and trained farm workers. These are target market, competitive advantage, traction, marketing strategy, and our business model includes this. Our revenue models are these. These are our team, how we are here to see.
All right, thank you for that video, Chidima. So our judges, you'll be asking our questions now. Mosumola, you're coming up first.
Thank you, Chidima, the farmer. And if I hear you correctly, the problem you're trying to solve is the human resource deficit in the ag sector. If that is correct, my question is, how many farm hands have you trained to date? And how many have you placed in farms? And how many farms have you placed them in? I would like to get some insight. I see your projections and I hear you, well done for this innovative idea. But because you're also running, according to you, you're running a farm on your own. I want to know how many you've trained to date, and how many you've placed in farms, and what's your projection for training farm hands? How many do you plan on training between now and the end of the year? And what category of farm hands are you looking to train at this point? Thank you.
Mosumola. Professor Ibe?
Right. First, congratulations, young lady. Running a farm consultancy is big business. It's also dicey because we depend on a clientele. Let's talk of clientele. So I would like to know how you've built up your clientele and what your recruitment process is to build up this clientele. How do you advertise your own farm as a model farm to be able to capture your clientele? I don't want to complicate it further than this. Just let me know what your clientele is and how you recruit, and the linkage between your demonstration farm. You might not call it that. It's a practice farm, but what linkage between that and your clientele?
All right, thank you very much for that, Professor. African farmer, over to you, sir. Hello, African farmer, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. Yes,
right,
so Chidima, your project interests me, but your numbers contradict your project. Why are you laughing? So basically, you have projected that your business gives agri-entrepreneurs, farm labor, farm hands. And when you check your projections, consultancy will give you 4 million. The ag worker itself will give you 1 million, and training and certification will give you 500,000. So I like to know what really is your business. Is it the consultancy or the farm work? If it's the farm work, I will expect it to bring in more revenue because it's your focus than the consultancy. So this is supposed to help me take my decisions. Thank you.
So Chidima, please respond to all of the questions. And please note your time is running. You have about 5 minutes to respond to all the questions. Hello, Chidima, are you there?
Oh, yes.
Chidima, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, please? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now, Chidima. Please go ahead. I hope you heard all of the questions the judges asked you.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right, so please respond to everything now. You have 5 minutes to do that.
So I'll start from African farmers, not that this question. So we provide training for farmers.
Hello, Chidima, if you can hear me, kindly speak up so we can hear you clearly.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better now. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the business of our business is to connect agricultural human resources to farmers, and then so we do that by providing these laborers or workers, skilled workers, to farmers, and by also doing training. That is, we consult for the farms. So it's a two business. We render 3 services. The first one is that we consult for farms and we do trainings for farm workers. That's on site or on farm training. And then we also have training that we carry out on our farm for skilled workers and then the unskilled workers. So these unskilled workers, we get the unskilled workers, the farmers request for the unskilled workers, and then we train them and then we deliver them to the farms. So we do the consultancy and training, and we also do training for skilled farmers and supply to them. And then I'll go to ma'am's question. Our question is, how many ants have we trained so far? So far we started the business this year, January, and so far we've been able to train 5 farm ants, and we link them up with 3 farms so far. That is, we play them on 3 farms so far, and at the moment we're also consulting for 3 farms at the moment. Then which category of farm ants are we working at? So at the moment, because we don't have enough resources to be able to train all of our farm ants, we started with the vegetable section, which is what I am into. So it's easier for us to be able to train farm ants that are needed for vegetable farms, and then we link them up with the farmers that need them. So on the long run, we project to have every other unit of agriculture on our farm, such that it is easier for us to train them and then ensure that they are easily accessed to other farmers. I'll move to Professor's question on how we build and recruit. So far we work with some consultants that we know in the business that are quite good in what they do, and then we also recruit staffs from our communities. So most of us, we know each other, we know what we do. So it's easier for us to get people on our team, to join our team, to be able to come in as trainer, as consultants, since there are a lot of value chains in the agri sector. So it's easier for us to be able to reach out to people that we know are more experienced in this area. Thank you. I don't know if I've answered every other question.
All right, thank you for that, Chidima. Judges, are you satisfied with our questions? She still has 2 minutes.
Okay, so, and this is a general feedback to everyone. So far, I've heard a lot of people speak about what they have done, and it's phenomenal. I mean, if I'm correct to hear that your youth corp members, but I think that there's something missing, and I want to address it, and I'd like my other colleagues to speak to it. many of you still need tuition. And I love your enthusiasm and your excitement about running and starting your own ventures. But from the feedback so far from the three speakers, it's evident that there is that missing middle. You need to get a lot more embedded in the practice of agribusiness. It is not sufficient to just get up and start. Passion is good, passion is great. But you see, getting experiential knowledge is even far greater and far reaching in grounding you in the industry so that you do not lose money, so that you do not lose investment. But we'll talk a bit more as we listen to the other speakers. But I just thought that I needed to put that word out there before I lose it, since we have two minutes of Chidima's time. Thank you. African Farmer, I see you nod your head. Please address that.
All right, yes, African Farmer, over to you. Your hand is
Yeah,
up.
so I'm just trying to, for focus and clarity, that's my you said you are a soil and soilless farmer. Are you providing this service to soilless farmers? Because I know it's a very narrow space. So if you're providing the labor or staffs to them, it will be good to know that that's it. But if that's not the people you are providing labor to, then you may need to rejig your business plan. And secondly, what experience do you have? How long have you been doing this? For how long? And have you crossed regions? Thank you.
All right,
Okay,
thank
so
you very much for that. Prof, do you have any question or feedback for her?
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for the question. I'm a soil and soilless vegetable farmer. That is what I started agriculture as, but I've been able to work with farmers in various sectors for over 7 years now. And I discovered that this labor is a major challenge that they face. So because we are just a startup, we are less than 4 months in the business, I started with the sector that I am well versed in. I'm a trained soil and soilless farmer. So it's easier for me to be able to work easily and train laborers in the soil and soilless vegetable farming production. That's in the vegetable farming sector. Our long-run projection is to also diverse into other sector of the agriculture, growing from the grains to the tubers and even to the animal unit section, whereby people are trained, because we also partner with some agricultural firms that are into trainings to ensure that we have a large pool of skilled workers that we can easily connect to agricultural firms also. And then we also render some training, some basic training, especially for laborers, such that it is easier for us to be able to address this labor issue across all sectors, not just the vegetable farming sector alone. Thank you very much, sir.
Very much for that clarity. Please input scores in the scoring sheet so that we're able to manage our time effectively and round up in good time. Okay, so Paul, you're coming up next. Get ready. Okay, once again, our judges, please note that it's a Google Live document and you can input your scores right now so that we can then receive it at the back end. Also, comments can be given to the entrepreneurs after the business pitch. We can share it with them so they can note all of your comments and feedback. Paul, please get ready. You're coming up next.
Okay.
So while Paul gets ready, there are some comments in the chat box. So our judges, I think some of the entrepreneurs drop their comments there for you. So you can kindly look at it also and type in the chat box to give responses as you see fit. All right, so sorry about that. The next person pitching is Chooks. So Chooks, please get ready. You're coming up soon. And let me know if you're ready while we get ready to put up your pitch video. Hi, Trooks, are you there?
Hello, Ma. I think from the serial arrangement, you skip me after Eze Chidinma.
Mhm. All right, Peter, are you on the call? Kindly respond if you can hear me. All right, so Peter will be taking you now. Chooks, please get ready. You will come after Peter. Okay, so let's have Peter's video up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Peter Cheplos, and I'm the founder of Pet Farms. At Pet Farm, we produce maize, soybeans, and wheat, and we process them into poultry bed feed for farmers in Benue State in order to enable them remain in their business and also grow their businesses due to the high cost of this feed in the state. Over the past years, we were able to raise over 7,000 beds and maintain 5 customers, and also we're able to acquire our permanent site for our farm from the proceeds of Pet Farms. The problem we are trying to solve is that of the shutting down of over 70% of farms in Benue State due to the high cost of this feed in the market, also which lead to unemployment. Our solution is simply by producing this feed in Benue State. We are going to eliminate completely these factors that harness the high rise of this feed, which is logistic from the state of production of this feed to Benue State, and also interstate agricultural regulatory bodies. Our product is simply the broiler starter mash. We offer a qualitative broiler starter mash with a very high proteinous content at a very lesser price, which cannot be found anywhere in the state with a price decrease of 35%. Our audience are farmers between the age of 18 to 65 years who are faced with financial constraints of buying this feed to raise their bed, who are also able to raise between 1,800 beds to 3,000 beds per annum. Our channel is simply the radio station, the Joy FM 96.5 megahertz, the Facebook and Instagram. Our competitive advantage is that our product is highly qualitative in the market and at a very lower price. We make money through the following revenue streams: making money by sale of beds made by our farms, and also making money by the sale of this feed to other farmers, also by vaccine administration and consulting. Our team includes Peter Theophilus Honor as the Chief Executive Officer, Paul G. Todogu, Ahmed Sunday, and Idoko Benedict, as you can see with their experiences and qualification in this slide. Pet Farms take the sum of 3.1 million naira in order to produce each feed at a very large scale and also enable us to produce the pellet grower machine. We have over 500,000 naira liquid cash to pursue this expansion, and our projected revenue for this first year is timed at 8,152,800 naira. Our major need here is a pellet making machine that can produce 600 kg of feed per hour, and it is being sold for 1.7 million naira. Thank you, as I anticipate your question.
Thank you very much for that, Peter. So our judges will be asking you questions now. Note them. African Farmer, over to you, sir.
Okay, Peter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you say you're trying to make the price of feed lower, if I'm right.
Yes, sir.
How? You've not said how. You've just told us what you want to do. It would be good to know how, because maize, soya are the most expensive and constitute about 50% of any feed. So are you a commercial producer? How are you doing that? How are you competing against the big four in the sector? Then your market segmentation, 18 to 65. I want to believe you are under 40. So how do you speak to 65? It will be good to let us know that strategy also. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, African Farmer. Mosumola, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much for your desire to impact the sector. But I'm very curious to know, I mean, African Farmers asked you how. I want to know, because you're projected that you're going to be growing your own maize and growing your own I don't have that presentation here again. I wanted to quote you directly. But you're going to buy seeds for maize and soya. I want to know what your projection is in terms of your yield per hectare. How much land do you have for producing these substitutes that will then impact your production? Have you secured land for that production as it stands, or are you about to acquire that? Where are you in terms of that desire? And what volume of feed do you plan on injecting? What volume of feed do you plan on injecting into the market such that you will be able to drastically lower the cost of production for other farmers? You know, because we're judging you now at this point, it's important that we understand all of those things so that we make an informed decision. I also want to know, I mean, and this is another comment, it's why the radio and social media to reach farmers within Benue State, and the farmer groups in Benue State that should be your direct target market. I'm shed some light on that. I am a bit concerned about your choice of reach to your target market. Instagram, Facebook, and radio. How do farmers really connect with that? Is that a thing in Benue? Because I've done some work in those regions, and I'm wondering how much in Facebook and Instagram to buy their feeds.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mosumola. Prof, over to you, sir.
Thank you. The first judge has alluded to the high cost of your input materials, namely maize and soya. I think you did mention you're going to be producing your own raw materials or input materials. How do you, how would you, or how do you intend to assure sustainability in the supply chain and to achieve comparative cost advantage in terms of the input materials? Because I think that's critical in determining your ultimate the ultimate cost of the feeds. Secondly, you've mentioned that there are very high value and nutritional content. And I was wondering, how do you assure your quality assurance and quality control procedures? Who does that for you? And how credible are those processes? The QA/QC processes are important in feed manufacture in order to win the confidence and credibility of potential buyers. But in general, congratulations for pitching in into this very critical field of feed manufacture. Whether you're in aquaculture or you're in poultry or even animal husbandry, feed is a critical element. And for you to think of getting into this field, I think is courageous and you need to be applauded. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir. Peter, please go ahead and respond to all of the questions. Hello, Peter, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, man. The first question is, how do I make the price of my feed lower and how to deal with competition? So, from our findings, what makes the price of this feed higher in the market production to Benue State? Not only the cost of logistics, there are interstate agricultural produce regulatory bodies that before you pass, let's say, the state to which the feed is produced to Benue State, there are so many of them that you will meet on the road, which you must pay their dues. Now, this dues is being added to the feed and also logistic fee is that transportation. The time you get Benue State to Benue State, it ends up getting skyrocketed in price. Now, how to make our price lower? When we produce it within the state, we have completely cut the cost of logistics to a minimal level, and also the cost of this interstate agricultural produce regulatory bodies. Nobody will block you because you are not transporting your feed outside Benue State. So that is there. We are talking about the second question that was channeled to me is land volume, land and the land space, if I've gotten it. Well, in Benue State, we have a very vast land. The land is never a problem for us, even if you want to use over, let's say 20, 50 hectares, land is available for us. We did not buy the land, it's inherited. It is our family land, it's very vast. And then the volume of feed we intend to inject to this market, if this expansion cost is being achieved, we can be injecting more than 2 tons. That is 2,000 kilograms of feed to the market per annum. And then also the question that follows that one is that why are we using radio station to reach our farmers? Now the radio station is simply for the elderly farmers. In Benue State, they are fond of listening to radios, the elderly ones. Meanwhile, the younger farmers, you can find them easily on these social media handles, especially the Facebook. Responding to the core question, how do I assure sustainability in the supply chain? Now, apart from the wheat and soybeans, the maize here, the content of maize is the highest percentage in poultry bird feed. And right now in Benue, during the wet season, you can farm maize up to 3 times. You can harvest it up to 3 times before the rainy season. So to supply, to ensure sustainability, we farm this maize in excess above the other one, since it is what is mostly, the content is higher. And then when you look at the wheat, we don't use the wheat, we use the wheat offer, the chaff from the wheat in the feed composition. So selling that wheat, again, acquire us more wheat offer to ensure sustainability. And now what is our comparative price? Our comparative price is that like the feed in the market is being sold for 19,800 per 50 kg. Ours can be sold for as low as 12,900. And we are going to make profit of over 60%, even as at that, selling it at 12,900. Then we are talking of quality control. Right now, we are not producing it in a very large scale. It's just within us, within a particular area in the state, which our feed is being used. Now, we alter this.
All right, Peter, sorry to cut in. Hello, Peter. Sorry to cut in. Please, you'll be putting the remaining comments you have into the chat box and the judges will take it from there. And the comments the judges will have for you, they will also put it in the chat box and also in the scoring sheet. There's a comment section there. Our judges, please, once again, kindly fill the scoring sheet so that we can start collating the results while the next person gets ready. So Peter, thank you very much. Our judges, please, if you're having issues with the scoring sheets, you can. and I will address it. All right, so Chuks Ogbonna, you're coming up next. Are you ready? Chuks, if you can hear me, kindly respond. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, excellent. Our audience, I hope you're enjoying the pitch and you're gaining value for your time. You're also learning one or two things from these entrepreneurs and the feedback the judges are giving them. So while we get ready to bring up Chuks' video, please feel free to drop your comments in the chat box. We've been here for about 1 hour now. So any lessons, anything you've learned so far, please drop it in the chat box and we'll take them from there. Okay, so let's have Chuks' video now.
Imagine a bag of feed that cost 3,000 naira in 2018. That same bag of feed cost almost 8,000 now in Nigeria. This must be the most difficult time to be a livestock farmer in Nigeria. I'm Chuks Ogbonna and I'm the co-founder at Urbanaco. At Urbanaco, we are upcycling organic waste using insect larvae to create cheaper, high-quality protein alternatives to soybeans and fish meal, which will ultimately reduce the cost of livestock feed, as well as provide organic fertilizer for organic farmers. Our process is simple and it involves collection of waste, upcycling the waste with insects, and refining our products. We are providing black soldier fly insect meal and oils to livestock feed producers. We are providing high calcium and protein livestock supplements to poultry and fish farmers, and we are also providing organic fertilizers for organic crop farmers. In the South region alone of Nigeria, we have a total accessible market of up to 2.1 billion naira annually. We are sure that we will be able to remain competitive because we have a guaranteed source of raw material all year round, which is food waste, and we have amazing climatic conditions for the key components of our business. We are currently in the research phase. We plan to put out our products to the general public in the third quarter of 2022. We're currently partnered with the Rivers State Waste Management Agency as well as Rivers State University for product testing, among other achievements. Scalability for us is a wonderful concept because we can scale upwards, that means increase our production, and we can also scale sideways, that means diversify our production. This is our fantastic team, 3 million naira grants for purchase of 1,000 rearing crates at 2,680 naira per unit. This would enable us increase our production from a quarter of a ton a month to up to 2.8 tons of protein monthly.
Thanks.
All right, thank you for that video, Chuks. African Farmer, over to you, sir.
Okay, I would have more comments because you said it's in the research state. So my comment is it will be good, to see the crates that you're talking about. Nobody wants to put money in, what you can't see. Two, when you save the food waste, are you telling us, let us know, are you partnering in markets? If it's in an estate, how do you plan to gather the waste? Very crucial. And you talk about black soldier fly, insect larva. How economic is that in terms of comparing it, with other sources of protein? So it will be good for us to let us know that this will be cheaper, or if you're not looking at the price or the availability, you are letting us know that it will, it is something that is of tomorrow. Bamboozle us that we need to walk on a journey with you. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, African Farmer. Mosumola, over to you.
Okay, so for me, this is very early days. I don't have a lot of comments. I still want more insights shared. I try not to go into unknown territories. I wish I understood better how you plan on scaling this and how the acceptability would be in the market. I would love to know if you've pushed any samples out and what the responses have been so far. It would give me a bit more insight into understanding where you are. And yeah, basically, I really would like to know how much have you pushed to the market, and I hear African Farmer, because I looked for that in your video when I watched the first time, and I wasn't quite sure if I, as a livestock producer, would immediately buy them. You know, yes, it's a research phase, but how much savings as a farmer will I have from using your product as a substitute? Those are very gray areas. So I wish you could just share more insights, what you've done so far. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mostumola. Professor Ibe, over to you, sir. Hello, Prof, are you there?
Sorry, I've just unmuted my mic.
All right.
Like I said, I hear some very brilliant ideas, but this is more like a leap into the future, and it's difficult to ask hard questions because we're not dealing with palpable facts. But let me take that leap with you into that future and ask you the same question I asked the last presenter about the sustainability of your input material and how, since you are in the research business, how you intend to assure your quality assurance, quality control elements, because you need to build confidence in terms of your buyers and assure credibility of those inputs into their farming systems. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Shooks, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, everybody, and good afternoon. I'll start from the economic value over soybean and fish meal. We all know rather that the price of soybean has continued to increase over the past 3 years. And majorly that will be because of the land use problems, the cost of farming it and growing it, as well as the cost of processing it. The option we are replacing it with, which is the insects, are exponential growing insects, meaning that in the same space, let me give a factual example. It takes, in an acre of soybean farm that's being planted, the average amount of soybean meal protein that you can get from that is about 450 kilograms, and that is over 6 months. We're giving an alternative where you can farm upwards because you're farming in rearing crates. I would have attached that to the video, but there was not enough time. Because we're farming in crates, we have the ability to farm upwards. And then when the larva becomes mature from converting this food waste, it contains 60% of protein in its body and 35% of fat. The rest of it is dry matter. The advantage over soybean is that an average soybean meal will give you protein content of about 35% with all that cost. But then we are giving you a higher protein content with cheaper cost. Why I'm also saying cheaper cost is because our counterparts in other parts of the country who are practicing insect farming at large scale have to deal with time periods of very low temperatures where the insects either hibernate or they have to provide very complex rearing systems to keep it all year round. But for us, we are blessed with that feature that we don't have to overburden ourselves on that because of what our environment already creates. The other question I want to touch on is the food waste and how we access it. Nigeria is the largest producer of food waste in Africa with over 40 million tons. That being said, it's not still very easy to access it. That is why we partner with Rivers State Waste Management Agency. Without these partnerships, you would observe a lot of opposition from people to even pick up their waste, which is something that we really that really pushed us to understand that partnership is very important in collection of waste. So Rivers State Waste Management Agency provides us with a database of all the waste depots. So whenever they bring in all the foodstuffs from the northern part of Nigeria and it goes to these depots in Rivers State, Port Harcourt, we have the delivery times for when the tomatoes, the oranges and all of it come in. And because of the transit time, there's a lot of food waste along the line. So all of that generates a major part of our feedstock. Apart from that, partnership with Ruama has pushed us to also offer some sort of compensation to restaurants who are signed up with us for providing their food waste directly to us. They've also offered us 3 waste collection tricycles that go around all of these restaurants to pick up with an agreed timetable. In a return, these restaurants receive a certificate to show that they are operating greenly, and it generally keeps the city cleaner. In terms of sustainability, like I mentioned earlier, it's an exponential process. So it grows according to how much of feedstock you can provide and amount of space you can keep the rearing crates. Another angle to the sustainability is the diversity. Black soldier flies are similar to other insects like crickets, meaning that as we estimated in the 4th quarter of 2023, we are expecting to add crickets to this ecosystem because they already exist on a similar ecosystem in the wild. I think I've answered. I don't know if there's any question I've not answered. Okay, sorry. We are in research phase, but we have produced. In the traction slide in the video, we produced in our first round of production 200 bags, and we sold every single one of those bags. Now, 87% of those customers have asked us for a second purchase. In order to ensure our quality, we work with Rivers State University Animal Husbandry Department. We have our most recent product test that showed that we have up to 60% of protein in our larva. In terms of acceptability, Nigerians prefer cheaper options that work. We have a lot of callback from fish farmers because their feed is expensive, and with what we are providing, they can get to table size a lot faster. The reason why we put a launch date is because we want to be sure of our production capacity, as well as to unveil our new machine, which is part of why we are applying for this grant. We are currently producing 1/4 of a ton every single month, and we are planning to upscale that to 2.8 tons. And the major constraint right now is the rearing crates. I think there's another question.
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead, African Farmer.
Okay, so basically, I have very good working knowledge of this sector. I want to find out your competition. I know 4 people doing this on a fair commercial scale, and so I want to find out who are your competition.
Okay.
That's number 1. And 2, I know that insect is lighter when you dry them, and soya bean is heavy. And at the end of the day, the cost of food and the weight of the food matters. It's kg that the animals take. So that means you'll be putting in more. So what's the competition? What are the figures? There are many people doing this. So give us some numbers.
Okay, this is a wonderful question. So in Nigeria, the major competition in Nigeria, I would mention Mark Protein. The reason is because they have a similar structure to the type of the product I want to put out from insect rearing. Now, the Mark, I'm so sorry. I think I missed the second question. If you could just help me with it before my time runs out.
Just answer that. I want to know, tell us the competition. There are about 3-4 people who are doing this.
The major competition is Mark Protein. And in terms of conversion rates, yes, soya bean is heavier. But then the amount of space required is where the issue comes in. Soya beans faces issue like land use. We cannot keep planting soya bean to keep meeting the demand for feed for livestock. Already we farm 79% of our total farmland to make livestock feed, which is 33%, which is already becoming a burden because soya bean is also needed for other products. This is why we have to look at another method because of the way we are also growing in population. So this is why it's an angle that we have to start looking at. So in terms of the weight, it's going to match or even exceed it because of how it can go upwards. You can only plant soya beans on a plain ground, and you must wait for 6 months to harvest. Now, these insects take 15 days to get to maturity state. So if I'm farming an acre and I'm farming vertically like we're doing now, I'm harvesting every 2 weeks, and you have to wait to 6 months if conditions are okay to be able to match up with that production. And then we have a lot of problems with farming and herdsmen in Nigeria. So a lot of things, the production, or would I say the supply chain for soya bean, which is a major feed input, has really become one that we hope that,
all right.
We have
Thank
to
you
look
for
at
your
other
response. Sorry, I'll have to cut in here. If you have more feedback and questions or comments to give to the judges, please put it in the chat box and they will definitely take it from there. Our judges, please once again score Chooks along with other entrepreneurs that have picked today. We will be receiving the scores you've inputted from the back end. We'll look out for your responses. Thank you. All right, so please note that this is the last person pitching today. 6 entrepreneurs got to the final stage of the business pitch, okay? And we've had all 6 of them pitch their businesses before the judges and the larger house today. So we'll be having some videos playing now for you to see some highlights and 1 or 2 things that we've done in the course of this program, while we also collate and come back to announce the results. So please stay tuned. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chooks. I'm the co-founder at Obanaku. I was a participant of the Farmers for the Future Cohort 3. It was a fantastic boot camp. We had the opportunity to further expand on our knowledge as well as to learn about how the market in Nigeria works. We had the chance to learn under fantastic tutors.
Hello, my name is Ishaku Yusuf Mele, the CEO of Mama Food and Spices. I'm one of the trainees who have just completed the bootcamp. And I want to thank Faith Foundation and British American Tobacco Nigerian Foundation for sponsoring the program. It has opened my eye to so many things about business, such as marketing, branding, record keeping, and so many other things. And I want to share my own experience too. It was my first online training. And I want to thank you for giving me another family, the rest of the training whom we have undergone the training together with 20 of us.
My name is Paul Ugoji. I'm one of the finalists at the British America Tobacco Nigeria Foundation Farmers for the Future Grant Program. I want to say that my experience at the Faith Foundation 3 weeks bootcamp training was very exciting and impactful. I was able to refine my business model, segment my market. I learned about business execution and business financing, amongst many others. If there's one thing I've learned is that a businessman is very much different from an entrepreneur. As starting a business on the foundation of good knowledge is the key to success.
Abdulghani Mahmoud, I just want to be my name, the CEO of BTS Concepts. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate BATNF and Faith Foundation for contributing to my entrepreneurial skills and abilities. It's indeed a great journey for being with BATNF and Faith Foundation throughout the training. I'm very happy. I'm very glad. At least my outcome from the training, I was able to equip myself with entrepreneurial skills, personal development, and now I can boldly say that I can run my business. I can employ more skills and I can create more employment opportunities for.
Prior to the bootcamp, I was inexperienced on some important subject matters that relate to the entrepreneurial journey. However, during the training, I had a career-changing experience that has equipped me with the right mindset as an entrepreneur. I also learned to develop my own business model Canva with clarity of my value proposition.
My name is Olarewaju. I'm one of the participants in the recently concluded British American Tobacco Bootcamp. I particularly enjoyed the hands-on learning approach that was adopted. Also, I strongly believe that by integrating the lessons from this bootcamp into our parent stock portfolio farm, we are going to experience an exponential growth in our business.
My name is Peter Theophilus, and I'm one of the participants of the Farmers for the Future program for 3. Who helped us in the 3 boot camp. One of my experience for the boot camp, I would say one important thing that that boot camp has remodeled my thought to business. I have been really touched in terms of knowledge on how to grow and scale a business. I really appreciate that. It's not something I would like to take personally for granted.
And in general, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful for them for making this happen in a time like this in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It has really been insightful. It has really sharpened me and my thought and pertaining business. Thank you.
I want to thank the British America Tobacco Nigeria Foundation for this very rare and awesome privilege. I'm very much grateful. Also, thanks to the Faith Foundation for the awesome.
This is a great journey for being with Faith Foundation and BETNF. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say a big thank you to the sponsors of this program, British American Tobacco and the Faith Foundation. Thank you.
I want to appreciate them for all the effort they have put together, all the volunteers who have been lecturing us. I want to really say thank you.
Thank you, British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation and Faith Foundation for sponsoring and organizing this program. To our course director, coordinator, and all our facilitators, thank you for your time and for the impact of knowledge. Going forward, I will translate all that I've learned into everyday practical use so you could be proud of the youth you have empowered. Thank you.
I'm Taiwo Iyola. I'm 25 years old, graduated from Department of Forestry and Wood Technology, Federal University of Technology, Accra. And I'm founder of Consider V Foods, a beekeeping and honey production business. I started with one hive before moving on to 2 months after. I did 4 hives, 4 more hives. I started alone, doing the whole work myself. I keep on applying for different grants I see online, checking up for opportunities, and I stumbled on the Farmers for the Future grant by the British American Tobacco Foundation. I applied and I was lucky to be one of the winners. And now I have about 60 hives altogether. The grant from the British American Tobacco. We process E4, we use this sieve to sieve out the honey. Then we package just that way. We've got the grant, but now we're making use of machines, so we don't have to have contact, so to say. So we're now making the whole process in a more hygienic way and in a more conducive environment. So the support did not include just financial support. It actually involved the technical support and trainings from entrepreneurs and some mentors. So whenever we have challenges, through the mentors given to us, we're able to, with them, we're able to find solutions to them. And this has been going on for a year I said they need to get more stars and get team guys together, people that work on the social media, people that have more workers now. So the business now has a proper structure compared to when it first started. So the structure has actually helped to maintain the business and able to even attract more side of selling at stores. We are looking at selling at even big malls. Structure can be very stressful at times, but the reward is there if you can just go through the stress a little bit, especially when you are just setting up. The yield is something you can smile at the end of the day.
There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams. Any one of these is able to begin a spark and change the world. There's innovation everywhere, from Aba to Ife to Kaduna. The land is green, the wealth is here. Yeah, this is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. If you take a look around, from the north to south, there are opportunities to make it, yeah. But if all you ever dream is to go overseas, tell me how you'll ever know that wealth is here. Oh, yeah. Oh. This is our nation, this is our land. Oh. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. Oh, yeah. So this is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours. We have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here.
one day your lips will be mine. So live the life you will remember.
My name is Olari Waju. I'm one of the participants in the recently concluded British American Tobacco Bootcamp. I particularly enjoyed the hands-on learning approach that was adopted. Also, I strongly believe that by integrating the lessons.
All right, people, well done to all the entrepreneurs, and thank you to all of our judges. So the scores are coming in, and we're currently collating everything. Once we're done, we'll announce the winners and we'll round up the program. And guess what? We have some juicy, exciting news for you. All right, so please stay on the call and you will be able to get a whole lot more from this. So please stay with us as we'll be continuing with the session shortly. Thank you.
This bootcamp into our parent stockbroker firm, we are going to experience an exponential growth in our business.
My name is Peter Teoplos. I'm one of the participants of the Farmers for the Future program cohort 3. One important thing that that bootcamp has remodeled my thought toward business. I have been really touched in terms of knowledge on how to grow and scale a business. I really appreciate that. It's not something I would like to take personally for granted.
Prior to the bootcamp, I was inexperienced on some important subject matters that relates to the entrepreneurial journey. However, during the training, I had a career-changing experience that has equipped me with the right mindset as an entrepreneur. Thank you, British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation and Faith Foundation.
I want to appreciate them for all the effort they have put together, all the volunteers who have been lecturing us. I want to really say thank you.
I'd like to say a big thank you to the sponsors of this program, British American Tobacco and the Faith Foundation. Thank you. My name is Olari Waju. I'm one of the participants in the recently concluded British American Tobacco Bootcamp. I particularly enjoyed the hands-on learning approach that was adopted. Also, I strongly believe that by integrating the lessons from this bootcamp into our parent stockbroker firm, we are going to experience an exponential growth in our business.
My name is Peter Teoplos. I'm one of the participants of the Farmers for the Future program cohort 3. One important thing that that bootcamp has remodeled my thought toward business. I have been really touched in terms of knowledge on how to grow and scale a business. I really appreciate that. It's not something I would like to take personally for granted.
Prior to the bootcamp, I was inexperienced on some important subject matters that relates to the entrepreneurial journey. However, during the training, I had a career-changing experience that has equipped me with the right mindset as an entrepreneur. Thank you, British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation and Fitch Foundation.
I want to appreciate them for all the effort they have put together, all the volunteers who have been lecturing us. I want to really say thank you.
I'd like to say a big thank you to the sponsors of this program, British American Tobacco and the Fitch Foundation. Thank you. My name is Olare Waju. I'm one of the participants in the recently concluded British American Tobacco Bootcamp. I particularly enjoyed the hands-on learning approach that was adopted. Also, I strongly believe that by integrating the lessons from this bootcamp into our parent stockbroker firm, we are going to experience an exponential growth in our business.
My name is Peter Theophilus. I'm one of the participants of the Farmers for the Future program Cohort 3. One important thing that that bootcamp has remodeled my thought toward business. I have been really touched in terms of knowledge on how to grow and scale a business. I really appreciate that. It's not something I would like to take personally for granted.
Prior to the bootcamp, I was inexperienced on some important subject matters that relates to the entrepreneurial journey. However, during the training, I had a career-changing experience that has equipped me with the right mindset as an entrepreneur. Thank you, British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation and Fitch Foundation.
I want to appreciate them for all the effort they have put together, all the volunteers who have been lecturing us. I want to really say thank you.
I'd like to say a big thank you to the sponsors of this program, British American Tobacco and the Fitch Foundation. Thank you. My name is Olare Waju.
All right, so the scores are coming in. We've received for 2 of the judges, Professor Ibe and African Farmer. So we're expecting the complete scores from Musumola Umori. So well done to all of our judges. We want to, appreciate you for taking out time to be with us today and, grading the entrepreneurs, giving them constructive criticism and feedback that will help their business grow and definitely scale. And I want to believe that the other entrepreneurs on the call have also been able to learn 1 or 2 things from all of the comments and feedbacks that you've given. So entrepreneurs, as I said earlier, we have some juicy and excited news for you. Okay, so one of our partners has decided to give the 4th position a prize. Yes, I said it, the 4th position. So besides the prize gift that will be going to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, sum of 1 million naira, 6 million naira, as 3 million naira to the 1st position, 2 million naira to the 2nd position, and 1 million naira to the 3rd position. Now, the 4th position is also going to get a sum of 500,000 naira from one of our partners. I believe that's some exciting news, of course, which you all didn't expect. So I hope there are some reaction buttons going down there in the chat box. Okay, so we're collecting the scores, and in some minutes we'll be announcing the winners. Okay, so please sit tight and hope to hear from us soon. Thank you.
There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key, there's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams, any one of these is able to begin a spark and change the world. There's innovation everywhere, from Abba to Ife to Kaduna, the land is green, the wealth is here. Yeah, this is our nation, this is our land, yeah. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here.
If you take a look around, from the north to south, there are opportunities to make it here. But if all you ever dream is to go overseas, tell me how you'll ever know that wealth is here. Oh, yeah, oh.
This is our nation, this is our land, oh. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here. Oh, yeah. So this is our nation, this is our land, oh. Yeah, Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key, there's treasure in the tree. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green. is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours, we have everything. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams. Any one of these is able to begin a spark and change the world. There's innovation everywhere, from Aba to Ife to Kaduna. The land is green, the wealth is here. Yeah, this is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, the wealth is here.
If you take a look around from the north to south, there are opportunities to make it here. But if all you ever dream is to go overseas, tell me how you'll ever know that wealth is here. Oh, yeah, oh.
This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. Oh yeah, so this is our nation, this is our land. Oh yeah, Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There's a story to be told, a future to behold. There is more to who we are than what they hear. We have love within our soul, fire in our bones. We've got everything it takes to make it here. There's much more within our soil, more than just our oil. We can grow the food to feed the whole world square. Agriculture is the key. There's treasure in the trees. The time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. This is our nation, this is our land. Nigeria is ours, we have everything we need. If we could only see, the time is now, the land is green, wealth is here. There are 200 billion dreams. Any one of these is able to begin a spark and change the
All right, the wait is finally over. We want to apologize for the delay in announcing the result. It was beyond to some technical issues way beyond our control. So once again, we're sorry for the delay. Thank you for accepting our apology. Okay, so as I said, the wait is finally over. We have our scores in, thanks to all of our 3 judges, and we'll be announcing the results. So I want you all to know that we had over 20,000 entrepreneurs, core members, apply for this program. Of the over 20,000, 20 people got into the bootcamp, and of the 20, 6 people made it to the live pitch. So I want to say well done to all 6 of you, and note that you are all winners. I mean, you all have committed yourself to the process, giving your time, your energy, and everything, while doing your youth service along with this program. So I want to say well done and great job to every one of you. And you are all winners. So please note that and bear it in mind. You are all winners. So I'll be announcing the results and starting from the 6th position. So coming 6th in the Farmers for the Future business pitch competition is Olarewaju. Olarewaju, congratulations to you. You came 6th in the business pitch. Well done. 5th position, coming 5th is Peter. Peter, congratulations, well done. You did tremendously well and you came 5th in this business pitch competition. 4th position, we will also be going home with the prize from our partner, a sum of 500,000 naira, is Ogbonna Chooks. Ogbonna Chooks, congratulations and well done to you. So 3rd position is Paul. Paul, well done, congratulations. You came 3rd in this business pitch and you will be going home with a sum of 1 million naira. 2nd position goes to Chidima. Chidima, congratulations and well done to you. You will be going home with a sum of 2 million naira. Okay, I love this song. And before I announce the 1st position, if some of you already have an idea who is going home with the sum of 3 million naira, please let's have the song. So while the song comes up, going home with the sum of 3 million naira is Victoria. Victoria, congratulations to you and well done. Great job for committing yourself to the process. I have waited patiently. And now you've emerged winner of the Farmers for the business competition. So guys, here you have it. So stand up for today.
For the champions, for the champions, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Congratulations, Victoria. Congratulations, Paul. Congratulations, stand up. Congratulations, congratulations, everyone. I know that you might be overwhelmed with emotions, but I know it's allowed. You've done really well, and we appreciate you. So well done to you all. Well done.
Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses.
Victoria now. Victoria, please unmute your mic. We would love you to say a word of appreciation to the partners, BATN Foundation, to Faith Foundation, to the judges, and to your fellow entrepreneurs. So over to you, Victoria. You have the floor.
Hello, everyone. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead, Victoria.
I sincerely want to appreciate the British American Tobacco Nigerian Foundation, Faith Foundation, all our facilitators, our coordinator, Olayemi, our course director. I just want to appreciate each and every one of us. You have really impacted me, and within this short period of time, I'm a new person. Like, capacity building is something else. I want to appreciate God for this stretch. It was really worth it. I want to say thank you, everyone, to all our entrepreneurs. I want to say thank you to everyone. We are all winners. And to African Farmer Mogaji, The first time I met you was reading your book, Revelation with Farming with Revelation. And I'm so happy to have met you here in person. I wish there was no COVID so that I could shake hands with you. But for this privilege, I'm grateful. For all our judges, thank you all. I'm sincerely grateful for this opportunity. I'm looking forward. I hope to make you proud. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for that, Victoria, and well done. All right, so we'll be playing some videos before we then take the vote of thanks and call it a day.
All right, thank you very much to Olayemi, to Faith Foundation for ensuring that we're able to deliver the cohort 3 of the Farmers for the Future program. I'm very glad for you, Victoria, and all the winners that we've been able to call out this afternoon. An interesting thing that it's good for us to all note, it seems it's just the women doing all the business and winning it. The maiden edition we had in 2019-2020, we had a female winner. Same to the second edition we also had a female winner. And again, this is the third cohort, and we also have a female winner. So there's really something special about you women today. So once again, we say congratulations to you. And like you said in your final statement, you wish to make us proud. We're also rooting for you to ensure that you succeed in your business. I want to use this opportunity once again to thank Professor Chidi for creating time to join us here, particularly as a judge today. Professor Chidi is one of our technical committee member that oversees activities of the British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation. So he's also here in that capacity to also support us. We're saying thank you to him. We're saying thank you to Mosumola as well. She's been with us on a number of fronts, supporting the foundation through a number of dialogue sessions we've had in the past, and she's also here. We say thank you very much. And of course, to African Farmer Mogaji. Interestingly, if you know him, for the maiden edition of the Farmers for the Future, he was in this very office with us where we selected Taiwo Yola, who was the grand prize winner for that year. So he's been with us very much, and he's also here again. We're saying thank you very much also to you, African Farmer. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you all here. To all those who supported us in driving this boot camp, the 3 weeks boot camp from Faith Foundation, to all the teams and members that have been appreciated earlier, we're also saying a very big thank you to you for making it, making it a very worthwhile session for all our entrepreneurs that are here today. Very importantly, I want to say thank you also to the entrepreneurs who took time out. Some of you were still very much in your PPAs while you were delivering a lot of these things. But I'm glad that, like you said, it is worth the while and you are here today. Just to also emphasize and give special thanks also to Mr. Steve Okeleji of Aquatic Hub, who magnanimously in the last two cohorts that we've had, inclusive of this, which is the third one, he has supported with 500,000 to the fourth runner up, to the third runner up at every point in time to also support your business growth. He's currently on his way out of the country, and that's why he's unable to join us physically to present that award. I want to say thank you to him also for always supporting us and supporting the cause of youth development in agriculture. So once again, on behalf of the board of directors, the technical committee members, and of course, staffs of the British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. To NYC, of course, I must not forget, who is our key stakeholder in this, delivering on all fronts for us and supporting us all the way as well. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, to the immediate past director of SAID, the Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development under NYC, Mr. Hilary Nassam. We are saying thank you for all your support. For the new director that is on board, to the Director General also of NYC, we are saying a big thank you for all your support thus far. So once again, I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined. Thank you to all the entrepreneurs. We'll be reaching out to you through Faith Foundation in delivering all that you have promised us. And of course, we'll be giving a feedback to every member of the judges and also every member of the team to also know how they can also go in this direction. So I want to say thank you once again to you. Thank you to Prof. Thank you to our judges. We are indeed very, very grateful. We want to sign off now, but we'll just sign off now and say thank you. We'll be reaching out to each and every one of you soon. I think you deserve an applause for yourself. You deserve an applause for Faith Foundation. You deserve an applause for the British American Tobacco Nigeria Foundation. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, our judges. We appreciate
Congrats, Victoria.
Thank you, our judges. Thank you, everyone.
Judges. Thank you, African Founder. Thank you, Miss Fowler. Thank you.
Me to my destiny.
I'm so happy to see you.
I have waited patiently. I have vision.
See you again.
Can count on me, so stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions.